Freedom is not an easy concept that as people make it out to be, because freedom is scary. Freedom is one of those things that you have to live and experience for yourself. Freedom doesn't have an organization. It doesn't have a schedule. It doesn't have these set of rules that society puts on us. And I'm making this video because all of Christian talk, and these are Christian talk people. These are not people outside of the internet. These are Christian talk. They're condemning everything, saying that we can't do this. Now they're condemning little boo-boos, but they're not really standing on business, because everything else in their lives they're not condemning, because everything has a demonic source in different lore and in different religious backgrounds. Everything, literally everything. But freedom is something that y'all don't want, because what do you choose? You choose to put a different type of shackles on yourself. And that is the shackles of Christianity. And I say Christianity because we're talking about Christian talk, because Christian talk is its own monster. It doesn't really translate into real life unless these people on Christian talk has a brick and mortar and they build their own church. It is sad that y'all are using church to put the shackles right back on yourselves. Your ancestors who also went to church. But church was a place of freedom. It was a place to do work, if you know, in secret. But with the migration and people moving up north, they forgot the truth of what church really was for us. Church was never this place to put shackles back on our people. It was never supposed to be that. Y'all are going to be shells of yourselves. You are going to be people who make excuses for people treating you horribly. Be Simone and her so-called friend. You are going to be people that's going to look back and not even know who's the person looking in the mirror. But God told you who the person is in the mirror, right? But not even God. The pastor, the church told you who's in the mirror. So that's okay. Because once again, freedom is one of those things that's not always safe to do, especially for Black people. So it is safe to have this church, this brick and mortar, these pastors, these deacons, these aunties in the church to tell you how to live your life. That is not what freedom really is. Black Americans in this country, we really have Stockholm syndrome. So when we are free on a land that had us in shackles, where do we look? Where do we go? We look for a safety in a space that used to be a safe space. Like I said, if you know, the church was our safe space. But there's so many things entwined into the church. There's political reasons. There's societal reasons. There are bigots in the church who, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not telling my tea, at least not right now. There are people that are willing to put these shackles on themselves because that's the only way they feel safe. They will open their pocketbooks. They will go broke. As long as the church is still there and still standing, it's okay if they suffer. That is not the type of God. That is not the type of flock I want to be a part of. So I guess the plot of this video is, are you really free? Or you just replaced a shiny new shackles on your ankles? You just took the rusty ones off and you decided to put a shiny new piece of metal around your neck, legs. And the only difference between those shackles and the shackles the slave masters have on our ancestors is that this one has a nice little cross on it. But more importantly, Black people, be kind to yourself first. Peace.